At the time of this recording, it's 2025, and everybody and their mother is looking for different ways on how to make money outside of the traditional route. Having to go to school, having to get a degree, and having to work a 9 to 5, which people are now realizing that they're exchanging a lot of their time for a very little amount of money. People are realizing that there's other alternatives out there, and following the traditional route is not going to give them the life that they want. Now, I'm not like other people out there that are completely against colleges and completely against the school system. I personally support it. I believe that we need doctors that go and study medicine so they're able to take care of sick people. I believe that we need engineers so they are constantly studying and innovating on how to create new buildings and roads. I believe we need lawyers, and I believe we need scientists so law is continuously respected and healthcare and medicine is constantly innovating. The school system is created for those that want a secure and guaranteed income, which there is nothing wrong with that because these people are happy in their 9 to 5s, they're happy in their routine, and they're happy being secure. They don't have to worry about doing nothing other than going to their job, completing their work, and going back home. Some people find a lot of pleasure in that, and those people will not be watching this video. You're watching this video because you are skeptical of entering this world, or you have been in this world and you want to break out of it, and you want to find a different alternative on how to live your dream life. Because you're either going to spend years getting a degree that you will truthfully never use, and you're going to end up at a job which is not what you envision yourself to be doing. And as you're in this job, you're not feeling how you thought you would feel after years of school, after hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and truthfully, not living the life that you want to live. Because now you're living for this job, so you have this guaranteed income. You're here because you want something better, and you know there's something better. And there's nothing against the school system, because there's people out there that are very happy with the way their life is. But not you. You want something better, and you know that you're capable of doing it, and there's a different route on how for you to get it. Now, obviously, there is exceptions out there. Let's say you take path A, where you would go to college, you would get a degree, you would get a job. If you are really dedicated to your craft and you really deeply love it and you see an opportunity for innovation and you want to be better, you will then figure out a way on how to make a business out of it and how to create different sources of income around it. But the majority of people are scared of taking risks, are scared to putting at jeopardy their security from this job, and truthfully don't want to lose time or money. So the majority of them just stay in the exact same spot and just wait enough time in order for them to get a promotion or wait for a window to open so they make money on overtime. Now, those people that really excel onto the next level, it's really all up to them and how optimistic they are. And now let's put into example path B, where you ended up either going to college and getting a degree that really did nothing for you, or you didn't end up getting a degree at all. Now you're probably in a very mid to average job paying you minimum wage or a little bit more, and it's not enough for you and it's not making ends meet. Now, you might think that just because you're in this position that you will never be successful, and that's actually not the truth. There is many cases out there how somebody can go into a restaurant and just be someone helping in the kitchen. They find a lot of passion for making this food, and they decide that now they're going to take risk and go open their own restaurant. And as soon as they open this restaurant, it's a hit because they're passionate about it, they love what they do, and they're taking risk, being innovative, and are very dedicated to it. But again, this is a very small percentage like it. If you're in path A or in path B, it's a very specific and elite type of person that gets to this point. But for the rest, they are always constantly looking for a different way on how to make money. I have personally never met anybody that is in a secure and guaranteed income after somebody that graduated college that does not look for a different way on how to make money, a new way on how to add a source of income for them without them putting at jeopardy their guaranteed source of income. And the same thing goes for those that did not go to college and have an average job. They're constantly always finding new ways on how to get an added source of income. So whether you went on path A or whether you went on path B, they both ended up in the exact same spot. You end up in a video like this trying to find a new way on how to make money online or how to make any type of money outside of what you currently do. So if you chose path A or path B, on path A, you are in $100,000 of debt, years lost by getting experience and knowledge that do nothing for you. And if you went on path B, you wasted time at a job that you probably never loved and just did it for the money, and you never really learned the skill set, and you ended up at the exact same spot. So whether you're on path A or path B, you're still looking for the same solution. And this is the harsh reality. Somebody that can study 6 years to become a nurse, after them graduating and working at a hospital for 2-3 years, they end up not liking it. But they end up feeling in debt with themselves, with their family, with their colleagues, where they have to stay at that job to now pay back the debt of these 6 years. But they're gonna keep looking for different ways on how to get out of that job, because just inside of them, they can't envision themselves working here for the next 30 years until they could retire. Because those first 10 years alone is just to pay back the student debt. And somebody on path B, where they did not go to college at all, they're working at a very average job, they're literally living paycheck to paycheck, and they're not happy at all with their lives, and they're almost regretting that they didn't go to college and pursue something so they could have made a better income for themselves, thinking that if they would have gone to college, they would have had a better outcome. But little do they know that both people are in the exact same spot. Some studied more, others worked more, and they both want the same thing, a different way on how to make money online. And the easiest alternative to making more money is going online. Nobody thinks for them to make more money, they have to work harder. They understand that for them to actually live the life that they want, they have to stop exchanging time for money. Their time is the most valuable asset that they have. And if they're constantly clocking in somewhere and they're losing anywhere from 8 to 9 hours of their day, they're only left with so much more time for them to become a better person. So people understand in order for them to become more successful and make more money, they have to go online. Online has been the craziest land of opportunity, where people that have gone on path A, have studied and hated their job, ended up leaving and becoming successful. And you have people on path B that didn't go to college, don't know anything about school, and found the niche, and they ended up making millions online. Online is the land of opportunity. And I'm not talking about creating a e-commerce store where you have to buy stuff from online and resell them online. That's burnt out. The opportunity there is really not it. I'm not talking about creating your own marketing agency where you have to constantly be scaling and selling yourself and looking for different people to market stuff for them and deal with them and then hire people. I'm not talking you create your own product or your own brand where you have to create your own designs, hire a team, and invest money in order for you to maybe see something in return. I'm not talking any of these things online. And I'm definitely not talking about creating something super innovative, like a new Facebook or a new app. Going online, you don't have to create something new from scratch. Using everything that's out there with a profitable skill set is more than enough to make millions without you having to create anything on your own. You just use what's already out there for your benefit. I became extremely successful, and how I've made over $20 million at the age of 24 is by learning a skill set and by using what's out there on the internet. I have not created anything. I haven't even used AI in my advantage. I'm doing it old school, learning what's out there, putting it together and making it something. And it's trading. I'm gonna tell you straight up how it is. I'm not gonna convince you that I have some state-of-the-art advanced technology or something that I found in the back of a book or something that I heard in a meeting with millionaires. No, I figured out how to create an edge in the markets when I would go trade. And I've been doing this consistently for the last 6 years, and it has made me millions without me having to hire a team, without me having to speak to anybody, without me having to leave my house. I've made $20 million in my underwear from the office of my home as a 24-year-old that did not go to college and just 7 years ago was working at Dunkin Donuts. If you don't think it's possible, I don't know what else to tell you. And to be fully transparent and be as real and raw as it gets, that's exactly what this video is about. This video is about trading. I'm going to tell you exactly what trading really is after 7 years in the markets as a 24-year-old. I'm going to tell you what it's not and what critics out there make it seem to be, and the reality of how your trading is going to be. Just because I became a millionaire doesn't mean that you are. Is the opportunity for you to become a millionaire there? Yes, but only if you do the right steps. And now, don't get me wrong. Some people just want to make enough money so they leave their job. Let's say you're making 5-6K a month. They just want to make that so you don't have to go back to work. And maybe they aspire to make a little bit more, like $10,000 a month, which is every person's first goal, to feel like they're very successful. And truthfully, I thought that was enough too at first. But then when you spend more time in it and you see the more opportunities, that continues to raise and raise and raise very fast. And now I'm at the point where I want it all. But the opportunity is for you to set your own cap on how much you want to make and on how fast you want to get there. You're not being capped by a system or by somebody that doesn't let you get to the next level. You are the person that is going to let yourself get to that next level or not. I'm gonna explain all of that in this video. And I want to emphasize the impact and the importance of this opportunity with the skill set that I'm about to teach you. This is pandemic proof. This is recession proof. This is any economical situation proof. This is an opportunity that doesn't matter where you are in the world, you're going to be able to make money no matter what. It is something that's going to be automated into your lifestyle and is fully dependent on you. If you want to make money, you will. If you don't want to make money, you won't. It's never going to go out of style and it's never going to be forgotten. And now I'm going to ask you a question. Do you remember your life before you knew how to walk? Do you remember your life before you knew how to talk? No, right? Because you've been doing it for so long that it just became part of your life. It's made you who you are. This video is gonna do the exact same thing. Inside of this video, I'm gonna open up something in your mind where it's gonna completely change the journey of your life. Your mind now is going to be curious on how can you unlock this skill set in order for you to actually live the life that you wanna live. Get out of the job that you're currently in. I'm gonna unlock this drive and curiosity that you were born with, but you just needed a video like this to give you a reality check and let you know that you're capable of doing it. You just need somebody to show you how to do it. Now, this is what I'm gonna be offering you. I'm gonna teach you exactly how you can earn the money and where does it even come from? Because obviously money doesn't come from thin air and nobody is gonna be just giving you money because you're going to trade. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around this. Is the money even real since it's digital? And believe me, the money is real. I'm gonna teach you exactly about that. I'm gonna teach you exactly what a profitable skill set in trading is and what is not. Because people think just because a chart is going up, you should buy, or because a chart is going down, you should sell. That is not how these things work. That is not how I became successful in trading. I'm gonna teach you exactly how to do it. I'm gonna explain to you the most common scams in the industry. There's a lot of people out here that get convinced that they're going to be rich overnight, and I'm sadly here to tell you that you're not. You have the opportunity to be successful if you put in the work. If you don't, you simply won't be. There's no get rich quick scheme, and I am not guaranteeing you anything remotely near that. If you don't put in the work, you will not be successful. I'm gonna be breaking down and exposing on why trading is the most profitable and easiest skill set to obtain for anybody around the world. Doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your level of knowledge, and it does not matter how much time you have available to this skill set. Trading caters to absolutely everybody that really wants to learn it. And truthfully, the most important thing, I'm gonna be teaching you how you can learn so you can start making money in 2025 with the exact same skill set that made me over $20 million in the last 7 years of my trading career. And oh boy, has it been a bumpy journey. And before we get started and I give you context on everything I just mentioned, you're probably wondering, who is this guy and why should I even listen to him? Is he even credible? Well, my name is Alex G. And if you don't know who I am a 24-year-old trader born and raised in Miami that just wanted to be very successful. And he did not want to let his path to be successful affect on how he lived his life. And I live my life pretty lavishly. You've probably seen me run on the Super Bowl. Why? Because why not? You've probably seen me do donuts in Bugattis and my Lambos, Porsches. Why? Because why not? You've probably seen me do a lot of things that a regular successful person won't do because they're very uptight and want to be corporately and publicly seen correct. Not me. I am very successful and I'm very happy with my current state because I'm myself. I don't let the money change who I am, and I don't let the money define who I am. I am who I am. The money just gives me access to better toys and do funner things. But I will never let the money change who I am or define it. So I am Alex G, a 24-year-old trader that likes to make a shit ton of money and live lavish. And that's just my public resume. This is just the life that I like to live with the results that I get from trading. But when it comes to trading, I've done many legendary challenges and stuff that I personally never thought I'd be able to achieve. I've turned $100 into $1 million in 90 days. I've had $500,000 days. I've streamed for 48 hours in front of tens of thousands of people, showing my trades live where I was turning $400,000 into $1 million. Truthfully, I've done more than I expected that I would be doing at the age of 24. And even something that I don't really like to brag about, I have traveled around the whole entire world teaching hundreds, thousands of people, showing them this skill set in person, shaking their hand completely for free and giving them context on what trading is and how it can change your lives. Why did I do this? Truthfully, because I love what I do. And I did all of this completely for free. And as time went on, hundreds of thousands of people started following me and were willing to pay me for my knowledge. And I was almost shocked because I didn't know the impact I was making on people. That's where I ended up making a community where now we have tens of thousands of students all around the world enjoying the fruits of the labor of following this strategy. A strategy that I personally made by myself after being a negative and unprofitable trader for a little over 2 years. Because at the beginning of my journey, I did not make any money. I was actually a consistently unprofitable trader for nearly 2 years after I finally figured out how to make an edge and then how to actually become a profitable trader. So this is a very over-the-top explanation on who I am and how I got here, and how I am qualified and valid to be teaching you this new skill set that you're going to obtain and be executing in 2025. So I'm gonna start off with the most obvious. What trading is not. Trading is not a scam. Trading is not Bitcoin. Trading, you're not actually trading or exchanging something. You're not actually buying or owning anything. You're not actually selling anything. You're not actually really doing anything other than just betting. So Bitcoin is its own cryptocurrency. Stocks are their own individual markets. Then you have futures, indices. Then you have what I do, currency trading. When you're currency trading, you're trading one currency versus the other. For example, Euro USD. You're trading the Euro versus the dollar, or dollar versus the Euro. So Euro USD is just like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson are in a fight. Sometimes Muhammad is winning, sometimes Mike is winning, and the battle goes back and forth. Same thing on Euro USD. Sometimes the Euro gets stronger, sometimes the dollar gets stronger. They're constantly in a fight back and forth. Now, the only difference in between these two is that Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson get tired and they have to take a break, and the fight comes to an end and there's a winner. When it comes to the markets, they never get tired, they never stop, and there's never a winner. Markets are constantly fighting up and down, and all you simply have to do is bet which one is going to get stronger. And it can be for a very short period of time, it can be for a longer period of time, or it can be for a very long period of time. You define on how long that period is going to be. For example, you can bet that Mike Tyson is going to beat Muhammad Ali in the next 30 minutes, or in the next hour or 2 hours, that his points will be higher than Muhammad's in X amount of time. Do that exact same thing, but with the markets. And the markets never end, never close, and there is thousands of different markets out there, meaning the opportunities are absolutely endless. And that's actually what trading is. When you're betting on Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, at no point do you ever own a piece of Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson. That would be insane. Same thing when you're trading the markets. When you buy a market or sell a market, at any given point, are you ever actually owning any euro or selling any dollar? You're just betting that the market is going to either go up or go down. And keep in mind, since the markets are never ending, you're never late to entering the market. It's not like a fight in Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson that there's 5 rounds of 5 minutes each, for example. You have only a certain period of time to enter a bet before the fight's over, and then you lose out on your opportunity. In the markets, you're never late. Whether you start right now, whether you start in an hour, in a month, in a year, you're never late. The opportunities are always there because the markets are always open. And that's really what trading is. Trading is not a pyramid scheme. Trading is not multi-level marketing. Trading is not a software or an automation of bot that will trade for you. Trading is when you bet that something is going to go up or that something is going to go down. Trading you can do from anywhere in the world. You just need a computer and Wi-Fi. That is simply it. You don't need to enter in a call with people. You don't need to hire somebody. You don't need to have a manager. You don't need to have a supervisor. You don't need to have a boss. You don't need to have anything. It's just you and the charts. So at this point, like, wow, that's pretty easy. What do I need to actually start trading? Well, I'm gonna tell you what you don't need. You don't need a college degree. You don't need to be good at math. For some very odd reason, people think you need to be good at math to trade. I don't know why. At no given point are you ever doing any complex equations or any equations at all. You don't need to keep up with the news or constantly be on top of the newspaper and reading articles. All of that is simply a waste of time. And the last, and the one that drives me the craziest, you do not need to be in front of the computer all day in order for you to make money and become a profitable trader. All you need to actually trade the market is going to be a computer, a couple $100 to trade, because truthfully, you need money to make money. This is not something that's going to come out of thin air. You need Wi-Fi, and you need anywhere from 1 to 2 hours every single day. Now, the key with those 1 to 2 hours is not whenever you are available. It's whenever the markets are in the right trading sessions in order for you to trade. And the most important above all is a winning strategy. You can have everything that I just mentioned, but if you don't have a strategy, you will not be successful. You're gonna simply just waste time and waste a lot of your money. And the best analogy that I can put for this is, imagine you're going head to head with Mike Tyson. You know all the rules of the game. You know that you're gonna be wearing gloves. You know you can't be throwing kicks. You know there's certain rounds, but you haven't been training and you don't have any stamina and you don't have any punching power or any practice. What's gonna happen? Mike Tyson is gonna knock you the fuck out. The markets will do the exact same thing to you if you do not have a winning strategy. This is so key to longevity and becoming a profitable trader. And now, knowing that the strategy is the most important thing, I'm gonna explain to you how mine works. Mine lets me make anywhere from $300,000 to even $700,000 in one single week at a time. Now, my strategy consists of 3 very strong, very simple, but extremely key foundations in trading as a whole. And if I don't have one, I can't move on to the next. Let me explain. The first thing of my strategy is going to be the trend. If the trend is not in my favor, I cannot execute a trade. But let me give you an example. If the market is heading to the upside, I should only be looking for buys. If the market is heading to the downside, I should only be looking for sells. For some reason, a lot of beginner traders or even intermediate traders, they believe because the market has hit a low that they should buy there because the market has to go up, or because the market has hit a high that they should sell there because the market has to come back down. And this could be nothing further from the truth. And this is where 99% of traders will make their first fatal mistake on having a profitable strategy like mine. Because the key to this is trading with the trend. The trend is your friend. And the best analogy I can put with this is a surfer. If I am a surfer, my job as a surfer is to go to the beach, get into the ocean, let a wave arise, and I surf the wave. If the wave is heading east to shore and I want to go west, what's going to happen? I'm surfing against the wave, so I'm going to probably fall and get eaten by a shark. The easiest thing is to surf the wave east as it's going. That is the exact same thing with the markets. If the markets are all heading to the upside, why do I want to do the complete opposite? I'm going to risk money that I shouldn't, and I'm going to lose. So I simply continue to trade with the trend and follow its direction. This is the first step in my strategy, and it is the most fundamental and important, because if I don't have the trend, then I can't go into the next step, which is going to be the area of interest. Now, the area of interest is as important as the trend, because once again, let's say you're a surfer and you're out in the ocean and there is loads of waves, and as soon as this wave approaches you, if you don't have a specific area where you're going to enter this wave, two things are going to happen. You're either going to enter too early or too late, which ultimately means that you missed the wave and you couldn't ride the wave to the shore. It's the exact same thing in trading. It's the exact same thing with my strategy. I can have the trend in my favor, but if I don't have a very specific and detailed area of interest, I can completely miss a trade. A trade can either have a move too early or too late if I don't place the area of interest correctly. So you can even be in the right direction of the market, but if you don't have the area of interest, you don't have a trade. So now in the event that, let's say, you do have a perfect area of interest and now price is there, then comes the final and most important step. And just like the last one, if you don't have the trade at the area of interest, you cannot then go to the third step, which is the entry signal. So right back to the surfing analogy, you can have the waves going east in your direction. You can have the entry point right where you're gonna enter the wave. But if you're not on your board properly, if you don't have the strap tied around your foot, you simply cannot enter that wave. You're not ready to enter at that area of interest because you can either fall and lose your board. Same exact thing happens in the markets. You can have the trend in your favor, you can have the area of interest, but if the market does not present to you the entry signal at the area of interest, you simply do not take a trade. Every single step is a chain reaction. You need one to have the other to have the other. And all three of those collectively together give you a very high probability trade setup, which gives you more odds of winning than losing. Now, when you surf a wave, you're going to fall. It's part of the process. When you trade, you're going to lose. It's part of the process. What the strategy does is it minimizes the amount of times you lose and maximizes the amount of times you win. So to summarize, the strategy consists of trend, area of interest, and entry signal. You need each one to go to the next one. And I will never take a trade unless I have all three of them. Thanks to that, I've been able to make over $20 million in the markets. And you have somebody like Mike, for example, that they have become a six-figure trader thanks to following the strategy by just following it in 6 months. And you have somebody like Alec, which he was a full-time worker, and then he actually ended up becoming a six-figure trader as he had a full-time job, because the strategy gives you the opportunity for you to actually be able to work your job and execute the trades in the markets at the same time, because you only need anywhere from 1 to 2 hours every single day to be trading. You don't have to be stuck in front of the computer all day. And at this point, you're probably asking yourself a question. Is it even worth it for me to actually get into this skill set and get involved into trading? I've heard it's very risky. I've heard a lot of people have lost money in it. Can I even become successful? Well, let me explain. One of the very cool and main reasons you should is because of the geographical freedom you have. You can trade from anywhere in the world. All you need is a laptop and Wi-Fi. And let's be honest, 99% of the places where you could go in the world will let you have your laptop and will let you get access to Wi-Fi. So you can connect to the markets at any given point. In addition to that, depending on where you are in the world, certain trading sessions are in your advantage. The odds of you becoming successful in trading are a lot higher than people in certain parts of the world. For example, for me, It is very hard for me to trade one of the highest volume sessions called London session because it's in the middle of the night for me. It initiates at 2 in the morning. But for example, somebody in London, it's the middle of the day for them, 10 in the morning, and they could very easily access it. So it's something that you have great advantage or maybe even a disadvantage based off of where you are in the world. But the beauty of it is that you can access it from wherever and whenever you want. So if you're not in London and you want to trade in the mornings, you can just get on a quick flight and you're there and you trade from there. You're not attached to an office, you're not attached to a machine, you're not attached to a boss, you're not attached to a system. It's whenever you want to access it, and it is accessible 24/7 from wherever in the world. From your phone, from your laptop, from your Apple Watch, from your desktop. And truthfully, once you become a trader, traveling around the world becomes essentially free. You're a trader, you make a lot of money, you can go anywhere you want. It gives you the freedom of you being able to do whatever you want. I've been able to travel over 15 different countries in the span of just one single year. And I only get one-way flights. I get a one-way, I get an Airbnb, and when I'm ready to leave, I leave to the next spot. I don't have anybody telling me when to go back. I don't have to go back. I do whatever I want when I want. And that ties into how much money you will even make. As you travel to different places in the world, you start opening your eyes to different visions, to different traditions, different cultures, which will ultimately make you more money because your mindset is being open to something new. And you put the cap on how much you want to make. There is an infinite access to how much money you can make in the markets. It just depends on when you're ready to click that buy or click that sell button. However, other business models don't get anywhere near on how profitable trading is. For example, e-commerce, crypto, Airbnb management, SMMA, and even personal brand development have no comparison to the leverage you could have from trading alone. Let me break it down. If you were to create an e-com store, you have a starting capital of anywhere from $5,000, and your margins, depending on how good you are, could be anywhere from 15 to 30%. And what you need to start in order for you to earn money is a lot. You have to create a store, you have to get a business, you have to get a credit card, you have to get employees, a team, do market research. You need a lot of things in order for you to be successful. And the risk associated with this is very high. And a lot of them get shut down because they don't even know how to properly run ads, and Facebook just ends up closing it down because they see it as a very high risk business or maybe even a scam. And the scalability of it is somewhat medium, where you are able to scale if you can properly make it out, but truthfully, it's actually very difficult. Crypto, on the other hand, has a very different starting capital. It could be anywhere from $1,000 to about $10,000. The benefit of it is that you have 100% margin because you don't really have to pay anybody. You're just investing into some coins and realistically just hoping that it gets up. What you need to get started is really nothing other than your computer. And this is the closest one that gets to trading. But the reality of the situation is that it is nothing compared to it. Because what you need to succeed is somewhat luck, market volatility, and very, very, very deep investigation on the right coins. The risk associated with crypto is extremely high. And then you're actually buying something, you're obtaining it, and you're holding it for longer periods of time. Scalability is high, but it is very, very risky. Airbnb management, I personally know from personal experience, starting capital is a very, very low minimum of $5,000 and can scale way past $100,000. Margins, if you're good and you have really, really lucky months, can be as high as 40%, but a very, very low average is 15%. What you need in order to actually make a lot of money with Airbnb management is a lot. You need a good marketer, you need a good content creator, you need a very good cleaning lady, and you personally need a very good location in hopes that the algorithm in Airbnb will list your property. The risk associated is very high because you either have to sign a lease, do rental arbitrage, or even buy your own property not even knowing if people would want to rent it out. And the scalability is extremely low because you could only buy so many properties at a time, and you could only manage so many properties at a time. Next, we have SMMA, which starting capital, truthfully, is nothing. You just need a decent amount of knowledge for you to be able to actually get your first clients and be able to manage them. Margins can be anywhere from 30 to 60%, just depends on how good this brand is. It's gonna require a lot of your time, and you will definitely hit a cap simply because you could only scale so much by the knowledge that you have. And the risk associated with this is very high, along with reputational costs, because a lot of brands do not let your skills enough time in order for them to actually flourish. And scalability, like I just mentioned, is very low because truthfully, you can only manage so many people because you only have so many hours in the day before you burn out. And next we have personal brand, which many think is a great skill set, which it is, but there's a lot of cons with it. The starting capital is anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000, and you really just have to invest in a camera and in your self-confidence. A lot of people out there, they really don't want to be in front of the camera because they just want to make money by themselves and live their life privately. The benefits of it is you will keep 100% margin because whatever you make yourself off of your brand, you simply keep. And what you need in order to make money is a lot more than even a business. You need to have an idea, you need to have a strategy, you need to have content editors, marketers, thumbnail creators, script writers, copywriters, editors. There's so much required to building a personal brand that the risk associated with it isn't high because the only thing that you're putting at risk is just your name, but the scalability is very low unless you have a big team and big ideas and big marketing. It is very hard to make it. And then last, but definitely not least, is the most profitable skill ever, trading. Starting capital can be anywhere from $100 to $1,000. And the reason why it could be so low is because with trading currencies, many brokers give you the option to leverage trade, where you can actually leverage your money a lot more than you could in any other business or any other market. Your margin is 100% because whatever you make on trading is whatever you keep. What you need in order to actually start making money is nothing other than yourself and a strategy. The risk associated with it tend to be low and on the medium side, simply because you pre-calculate every trade before you execute it. And before you execute it, you know exactly how much you are going to be risking, so you know exactly what you can possibly lose. And the scalability, very, very high. And at this point, you're probably even asking if this is for you and could it even happen to you? Well, it happened to Ricky. Ricky has a family, he's a realtor. He had very little time in order for him to access trading, nonetheless practice and learn a strategy. After Ricky being part of the community and learning the strategy in just under 6 months, Ricky has been able to surpass his income as a full-time realtor. Now he's able to leverage his time, spending more time with his family, making more money from trading, and not leaving his passion as being a realtor. So he's able to make the deals that he really wants to in real estate, make the amount of money that he wants from trading, and spend all the time he wants with his family and his kids. And I know this might sound crazy right now, but I can almost guarantee you that you will not lose money with this business model. You're probably wondering, how? If I have to trade, I have to put money in the market. Well, before you enter any trade into the market, you have to learn how to pre-calculate your risk on your account. And when you pre-calculate your risk, you know exactly how much you're going to be losing and then how much you're going to be gaining. If, for example, let's say you have a 50% win rate, which is very below average in the industry. Say out of 10 trades, let's say you lose 6 trades and then you win 4. You would think that if you lose more than you win, then you would be unprofitable and you would lose money. That's actually completely false, because every single time that you would lose -1, for example. Now you're -6, and every single time you win, it's ×2. So here you have 2, 4, 6, 8. So you have just made back with 4 wins the 6 losses, and you are still profitable 2 points. That, my friends, is called risk to reward and profitable risk management managing. This is what has led me to make millions in the markets and constantly stay profitable. There's times where I have lost 7 trades in a row, and just winning 3 has made back those losses and left me in far more profit. Now, all this might sound very cool, but you're probably like, Alex, I have a full-time job, I still go to school, I might even have a family that I have to take care of. How am I gonna be able to fit my schedule to learning this new skill set? Well, truthfully, it's actually far more simple than you can imagine. Since you don't have to manage a team, since you don't have to hire people, since you don't have to create systems, you don't have to speak to anybody, you know when you're available and you know when you have free time. And in that free time, you have to dedicate anywhere from 1 to 2 hours every single day without stopping to learn the skill set and watch the markets. The secret is in the pudding. You have to watch the markets in order for you to know what's gonna happen next in the markets. Now, doesn't mean you have to be glued to the screen in order for you to actually make money, but you have to have this connection with the markets where you see it for a long periods of time, where you start to enter this flow and you start to understand the markets, where then you can start executing a strategy. You won't need to spend any more than 1 to 2, max 3 hours every single day in order for you to learn this skill set in under 6 months. For example, let's just take Mike again. He started knowing absolutely nothing of trading in the middle of Alberta, Canada, where nobody there really knows how to even access the internet and how to nonetheless even trade. He knew nothing about trading, and in his first 3 months, he turned $1,000 into $120,000 by him simply being available, learning the skill set, and executing the strategy, while nobody in his family believed in him and nobody in his family even knew what he was doing. And as I've met thousands of traders around the world, I've met all different types of traders. I've met moms, I've met dads, I've met teenagers, I've met construction workers, teachers, lawyers, doctors, scientists. I've met all different types of people. People that were even homeless, that made it out of being homeless, ended up becoming a profitable trader, which is actually one of my top students. All you simply have to do is have anywhere from 1 to 2 hours available every single day and commit to it. There's no way around the success unless you commit. You have to be ready to put in the time and actually practice and learn this skill set. And if you follow the strategy to the T, it is impossible to not get results, because you're following a proven strategy that has made money for thousands of traders and for me personally. The best analogy that I can give for this is I'm going to give you a very successful gym routine for you to get 6-pack abs. And you can go to the gym, but if you just go to the gym and you walk around and you just stay on your phone and don't work out, there's nothing else that I can do for you. I gave you the routine, now you have to go out there and execute it. Just because you went to the gym doesn't mean you're gonna get abs because you just went there. Just because you sit in front of the computer and look at the markets doesn't mean you're gonna make money. You have to actually get the strategy and go and execute it. And there's a very big superstition on people constantly being concerned on when is the right time to buy, when is the right time to sell. Obviously, that is the secret, and people think it's the hardest part. What if I told you that this is actually the easiest part, and it is the part that takes the longest for traders to understand? 90% of my time in the markets consists of doing nothing, is waiting for my strategy to be met and for me to go ahead and execute the strategy. I'm simply sitting on my hands, waiting for the market to give me an opportunity, and as soon as I get it, I execute it. You really don't have to do anything else other than just wait. Patience pays in the markets. Now, you're probably wondering what happens if you don't have any money to get started. Well, I'm gonna be completely honest. You need some type of money in order for you to make money in the markets. You can't make money out of thin air. You have to have a couple $100 to get started. And there's 2 ways you can go about it. You can either, 1, take a prop firm challenge, which they put your skill set to the test. If you pass their challenge, they will fund you money. They keep a certain percentage of the profits, and then you keep the others. Or you can go a personal route, which on the personal route, you get your money, you put it into a broker, you get access to higher amounts of leverage, and you can scale that money a lot faster. They're both completely different journeys. I personally have been on both, and I like the personal account better because you make your own rules and you don't have to be following the strict rules that these prop firm challenges make. Prop firm is great but I would go personal all day. So now at this point, you know exactly what you need in order for you to go and execute a trade in the market with a high probability trade setup. The first is going to be the trend. You need to be trading with the market if it's going to the upside or if it's going to the downside. You never want to trade against it. Second is you want to make sure you have a very precise and key area of interest. Without a key area of interest, even the best trend can't save you. Third, as soon as you're at that area of interest, because if you're not at one, you cannot then go to the next step. Once you have that area of interest, you can then wait and apply a very specific and strategic entry signal that will then allow you to know exactly where you're going to get out if you're wrong and where you're going to get out if you're right. You pre-calculate how much you're going to risk and you calculate how much you're going to gain. And then the last step, which is by far the most important, is sitting on your hands, making sure that you're only accessing the markets when it is the right time, staying true to these rules and sticking to them and not changing them for anything. I get it, it's very tempting since the market is available 24/7 and it's available at all times of the day. You want to enter it at all times of the day, but just because it's available 24/7 doesn't mean you should be entering it 24/7. So if you're able to follow these steps precisely without failing at any of them, you're probably wondering, how much money can you make? Well, the sky is really the limit. But if I were to set some hardcore examples on some numbers, they're going to be the ones that follows. Now, these examples vary on whether you're on a prop firm account or on a personal account. If you have access to the figures that I'm going to be breaking down below, by means, please go do it on your own personal account. You keep more of your money. And if you don't, you go ahead and you take a prop firm account. Prop firm accounts can vary anywhere from $20 all the way up to $500. And with something as little as $100, you can get access to a $10,000 challenge, which once you pass that challenge, you then keep 70% of the profits you make on this $10,000 account. So if you follow all of these steps, you can make an average of anywhere from 8 to 12% in one single given month, just risking 1%. Now, I need to play devil's advocate here and give you guys a realistic scenario on a very low case. I personally myself do not risk 1%. I'm risking anywhere from 5 to 6 to 7% per trades simply because I am okay with it. And I want to educate you as a potential beginner trader or even intermediates to be very conservative at the start. Start risking 1% and 2% and then you scale over time. But I'm gonna do the mature thing and do these calculations based off of 1%. Obviously, if you double the risk, so do these numbers. If you triple, so do these numbers as well. So let's say you start off with a $10,000 account, which would cost you $100 if you go take a prop firm challenge. Let's say you make an average of 10%, which is very doable, risking 1% per trade. You would then keep a 70% profit of that after the profit split with the prop firm, making you $700 within that one given month. Now, keep in mind, if you do this on your personal account, you keep 100% of those profits. But now on this same exact $10,000 account, let's say you up your risk to 5% per trade. So now on this exact same example on the $10,000 account, let's say you upped your risk to what I do. Let's just say 5% for example. You could have made an easy 25 to 40% on that exact same account on that one given month, taking the exact same trades, just risking 5% instead of 1%. Where then you could have been making anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 by just passing a prop firm challenge that is worth $100. Now, obviously, you can do this on bigger figures like $50,000 and $100,000, where you can easily be making on a $50,000 challenge anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000, risking the exact same percentage, taking the exact same trades. The only thing that changes is the size of your accounts, meaning which is the amount of money you have access into the markets. If you don't have all this money on a personal account, believe me, I did not have it when I got started working at Dunkin Donuts. I went a prop firm account, I passed the challenges, and I acquired $300,000 in funding, and I ended up making 10% on just one given month. on that $300,000 account. I received the profit split of over $25,000. So the exact same percentage that you could be making on a $10,000 account, you could be on a $300,000 account, and it just cost you $700. Now, there's many prop firms throughout the whole entire industry. Make sure you do your due diligence properly. The goal is to make as much money as you can from the prop firms, and then you put it into your own personal account. And the reason behind that is because you keep 100% of the profits that you make on your personal account. On a prop firm, you constantly have to be splitting with the firm. As you can see, you can make a lot of money, and these are just very, very, very below average examples, just so I keep it very realistic with you using a very small percentage. And I don't know if these sound like big or small figures to you, but truthfully, in the market, they really are. You could take someone like Facundo, where he made $90,000 in one single month in trading after learning the strategy for 6 months. This is somebody that did not have great English and figured out a way how to dedicate the time, learn the strategy, and he nearly made 6 figures in one single month. So the figures that I was just giving you an example are very below average and very realistic for you to obtain. Making 6 figures in a month is not far-fetched. Or you can take someone like Hakeem, for example, where he was living in Jamaica and he didn't have super big aspirations of making millions, and he managed to make in one single year $40,000 from trading alone. He said when I spoke to him in the podcast that went very far in Jamaica for him, and he was able to live the life that he wanted. And I don't know if this is going to change or better your situation, but Hakeem is making an extra $3,300 a month. So imagine that in your situation right now. Might mean a lot, might mean a little, but all that by simply dedicating anywhere from 1 to 2 hours every single day for the next 6 months. To me, when I was working at Dunkin Donuts, that was a great deal. And I'm not sure if you're wondering this at this point or not, but you're probably asking yourself, if you're so successful, Alex, you've made millions in the markets, why are you making these hour-long videos? Why do you have a community if you're so rich off trading? Why? Well, truthfully, at the age of 24, I've achieved many things that people my age have never even thought of. And truthfully, I did it all by myself. And being at the top by yourself really is lonely. So I decided to change my priorities in life. And I said that it's better for me to change lives all around me. Instead of it being all for me and being super selfish, I decided to go out there and provide as much free value as I possibly can, which it can potentially change the course of somebody's life completely. And I have a goal. That's for my students in 2025, collectively, for all of them to make $5 million in just this year alone. We do podcasts every single week, and we track the results every single day, and collectively adding this to a meter, which I am very sure we're going to hit that goal for this year. And also, one of the deep reasons on why I do this is I remember working at Dunkin Donuts, and I was trying to figure out how to get out of this job, trying a bunch of different ventures, just trying different ways on how to make money online. And everybody that was online just wanted to make money off of you for being online. There was nobody out there doing something free for the community. There was nobody out there actually providing real value. All the information was scattered all over the place, and truthfully, I didn't learn much off of one single person. I had to get different pieces of knowledge and start piecing everything together. And that's why my first 2.5 years of my journey were brutal. They were to the point where I had no money left, and I had to ask my parents for money so I can get back into trading and not give up on what I wanted to do. It got to the point where I didn't know when I was going to be successful, but I was so deep into the journey that I simply had no other choice but achieving it. I was so invested, and I had dedicated so much time that I lost all of my friends. All of my family members stopped believing in me. It was just me and the charts. And I was not going to let a computer beat me. So I decided to put my head down, learn from my mistakes, and get to the point where I am now. And after reaching a certain level of success so fast, your priorities change in life. They really do. And you start looking at life differently, and you start taking on new challenges. Now it's not about how much money can I make, but it's about how much money can I get someone to make. Because if I'm entering a trade, why shouldn't you? It doesn't affect me if you make more money than me. It doesn't affect me if you don't make money at all. The markets are there, the opportunity is there, and it's for everyone's grabbing. And I've gotten great amount of passion changing people's lives and showing the simplicity of this opportunity and the impact that it can have in people's lives. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not start this journey by myself. I started with 2 of my high school friends, which I thought they were my closest friends. And later throughout the journey, they ended up not believing in it at all, and they just couldn't handle the pressure. And I wasn't gonna go down without a fight. So I kept fighting by myself, and I ended up meeting other people that were in that same journey, just fighting, trying to figure out a way on how to become successful. All of us just putting money into the pot, figuring out how to make a profitable strategy. And the more money we would put in, the more time we would put in, the more money we would get out. And all of us had this aha moment, and we were figuring out how to actually become successful and make money in the markets. Therefore, I learned a profitable strategy that took me 2.5 years and thousands of dollars lost, relationships, so much stress that I thought I was gonna lose my hair as a 19, 20-year-old. And as soon as I acquired this skill set, I was not going to let anybody access it for free. As soon as I started living a lifestyle, buying cool things, doing what I wanted, then all my friends wanted to come back and ask for help and for me to teach them how to do it. At the beginning, I did it and I felt guilty if I didn't. It didn't feel fair that I learned something and now it makes me get access to money so easy. And I felt for it. I would go and I would help them, but you know what? They were ungrateful because they weren't investing anything other than time. And to them, their time is valued at $10, $15 an hour. So they didn't care about losing time learning something. It wasn't a big deal, but to me it was, because my time is very valuable now that I've learned this skill set. So I no longer help people that aren't willing to invest into themselves and value their time in order for them to become successful and actually learn how to make money. And I've seen this over the years. The more the people invest, the more committed they get. The more committed they get, the more money they ultimately make. You need to become a trader in order to make profits like a trader. You simply can't just think because you show up that you're gonna get the same results as somebody that has changed their whole entire life routine around just becoming a trader. That person that changes everything for this gets everything they should from this. And I've done hundreds of different YouTube videos showcasing many different types of ways on how to simplify trading, so people can actually understand it on one simple spot. Because when I got started trading, I was searching YouTube endlessly, not finding organized content. I have organized everything that people need to know right here off of my YouTube. But for some reason, people never really actually make tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars from YouTube. And they don't make this amount of money because they lack discipline, they lack consistency, and they lack accountability. Now, I wanna see if you're different. I have this 4-hour tutorial video where I teach you trading from 0 all the way up to 100. I'm talking everything. This video took me 6 hours to record without stopping, and we managed to cut it down to 4 hours. I wanna see if you're different. Are you gonna lack commitment, not be dedicated, and not hold yourself accountable? Or are you gonna go watch this 4-hour video that's gonna teach you trading from 0 to 100 completely for free? And because now that you know that this is the most profitable skill ever compared to any other different business model, you're just one simple step away. You're only one simple step away from deep diving on how this strategy actually works. Why would you go on the internet and search for other different opportunities? You understand that this is it. You're just simply one click away. And I can almost guarantee you that in the first 10 minutes of you watching this 4-hour video, you're gonna learn something that you can apply to your trading immediately for you to be able to start trading and making money with it. So with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe on this video. And I wanna see what you're made of. I wanna see what you're about. Because if you're really different from the other people, you won't stop here. You've made it this far. Go watch this video and I'll see you there now.